Okay, so we are about 5 seconds in. I figured that's about the point at which the audio actually kicks in. I put my camera up a little bit higher so that I don't get whack in it with my head, and also because when I have it in picture mode, it seems like it's much farther away, and then I hit record, and suddenly it zooms on down, and it appears to be much closer. So I've moved it up just a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how this works. If there's trouble seeing the detail without me picking it up, then I'll move it back down. All right, so today is the 5th. It's the same day that I posted the video for collages 64 through 75. This is going to be a shorty. This is going to be 76 through 80, just 5 of them. And then I'm going to have a couple of questions at the end, and I will share with you some of the makers who are doing the 100-day project and what their concept was for the project. So maybe showing a little scope on what's possible and how people adapted the idea of the 100-day project to fit either their artistic style or how their life works in terms of how much time they have to spend daily on a challenge. I have 4. There are so many more, but I picked the 4 that I have enjoyed the most. And I just thought I would share those with you in case you are interested. If I'm feeling really motivated when I post the video, I will also try to link to their channels, but I have a thing, it's written out where I will show you what the name of the channel, and then I have a little brief description of what kind of thing they're doing for their challenge. And I know that anyone who's doing this would probably love to get a thumbs up or a heart or whatever it is over on Instagram, but it's nice to get some acknowledgement for what you're doing. And I have some days just gone through and looked at all the various hashtags for the 100-day project and various iterations of it, and just liked, not just everything, because, not everything hits my aesthetic, and I appreciate the effort people are making. But I feel like I have to be genuine and give the likes to the things that genuinely strike me as, ooh. So, some days I just do that. Because, it feels good when people like your stuff. It's kind of like a silent kudos, I guess. Nobody says anything, but the thumbs up is nice anyway. So, this is day 76, yes? Yes. And this is on the back of a tea-dyed index card. And then there's some little crossover from some coffee dyeing. Because what I'll do is I'll have a batch of tea dyeing, a smaller batch. I usually dye small batches with the tea. And then the coffee is usually a larger batch. And I will dry the things, on top of each other, or, layering small pieces onto big pieces. So something like this would probably, I'd have on my stovetop, which is where I dry things with the oven on warm, and then I put a towel over that or some other covering. I can lay out 6 pieces of paper, and then I will take the tea dyed stuff or more coffee dyed stuff if I have, things of varying sizes, and I'll lay them at angles, and that's some of the effects you get on the paper is from that. So this has, I obviously laid, I think that's from the towel, so that's, like the texture when you smush something onto a towel. So that's probably was laid directly onto the towel, which probably had coffee on it. So the words that spoke to me today were between alchemy and invention. And we have this lovely lady here with the purple background. I really love the purple background on this. I don't know if you can see it. Let me stand up for a second so I can make sure I'm holding this in the oh, there we go. So, yeah, so it's like a purple there. And then this is like drops of water on a sunset where you get the big drops. And I think women and their emotions, and probably just human beings in general, fall somewhere between alchemy and invention. So that was the message I had for that day. Um, this one is turned upside down, and this is the back of something, because you can see where the spiral bound thing went. I think this might have been for blank music pages. And I just put a piece of lime green tissue paper over it so I can write over it without it being just the brown cardboard. But it's also upside down for people who watch with their children around. It's not particularly racy, but you know, everybody has a different comfort level. So it's there's no nudie anything. Well, I don't think. Let me double check. No, no, nobody's naked. But it does depict ecstasy. So if you don't want to share that with your family, or you don't want to watch it, so maybe fast forward a little bit. And it's not particularly salacious, any more so than the average content of a Brooke live chat or a Natasha live chat. So this is day 77. And in the background is it's all kinds of stuff, but I put a layer of gesso on the top and then a little bit of some inking. So you've got, I think there's a calendar and some book pages and some foreign language text that I can see under the white and the color. This is I think it's a moth. It was in with my butterfly pictures, but I actually think this is a moth. And then this is a dry cracked creek bread over here. The lady in her bustier. Clearly ladies having a fun time. And this is the message for this day was the promised land. And that was what I was thinking about that day. This is day 78, am I right? 78, yay, I can count. Woo! And this is introducing adventure. It was really hot on this day. I remember it being really melty hot, and I'm trying to watch my budget, so during the day, when electricity costs more, because we're on a metered plan where off-peak usage is rewarded, so I bump my heat or my air up so it doesn't come on as often, and I think it was 109 that day, and so I was kind of feeling the wanderlust again. So we've got a map. This side is a part of the map of India that I've been working through. And this side is a vintage map. This is not a vintage map. This is a National Geo map. But this side is a vintage map of Southern California. So you've got magazine images here. We've got some people canoeing. That's a nice, cool, refreshing, crisp sort of activity, isn't it? This lady in her pink feathered dress jumping for joy. This is a cliff, and I think there's a castle or a monastery up there. And I love the image of the waves crashing against the rocks. And then this is kind of a serene, foggy sort of beach scene here. So that was my thoughts for the day, was introducing adventure. What are all the because you don't think of pink as being a really hot color, like red is a hot color. Pink is a soft, gentle color. And then, everything else has water in it. So I was thinking cool, refreshing things I could do on that very hot day. Day 79 is missing. I have looked everywhere. And it may in fact be in a book. I marked some pages in a book, and maybe I picked that up. But I can't find the book either. 79 is on my Instagram. And it was an image on that same grungy background that you've seen a number of times already. And I stamped in the words love is, and love is fairly big. It's bigger than don't wait here. And then underneath it are magazine words. Love is the power to understand. I can do this. I can speak. It says love is the power to understanding everything, and everything is in red. So that's all it was. It was a simple day, a day where I didn't maybe have a lot of spoons, or I was overwhelmed by my choices, and I went with something simple. But it is on my Instagram if you want to see it, and that is linked in the description box for anyone who might be interested. So that takes care of 79 is missing. And this is day 70. So did I go? I went to 81. Okay, so we're going through 81. I'm sorry. This is 80. Did I do that right? 78. Yeah. Okay. So this is day 80, and it's just a magazine image on a 4x6 index card, which has been trimmed down a little bit just to fit the image, because there was like a little bit on either side, and I was weirded out by the letterboxing of it. So, and that's a coffee dyed. You can see the smushy on from the texture of the towel. Just an image of somebody hanging out on a mountaintop at sunrise, and it just says, don't wait. Because how much in life are we waiting for? You know, when I was married, my ex used to say, oh, we'll do X, Y, or Z when we have enough money, have enough time, have enough, whatever enough was. There was never enough. So what spoke to me today was, don't wait until you have enough. You know, there's a way to do the things you like to do, even if your budget is limited, your time is limited, your spoons are limited, whatever it is. Don't wait to follow your dreams, because all you wind up with is unfulfilled dreams at the end, and maybe some regrets, and life is too short for that. And this is day 81. I did not intend to do 81, but I stuck it in here, so we'll go for it. This is, what is this? Maybe just coffee dyed paper? But I got some really good effects on this one. I love this. And I didn't want to cover it up, so I put it on the back, and I will just journal over it, or maybe I will just leave it there and oogle it, because I really like how that came out. A lot. It's almost like when you get the nature prints, when you smush something, you know, and it's dendrology, I think. You can get scrapbooking papers like that, and you can get art prints like that. I just like the effect. This is not dendrology. I don't even know if I'm using the right word. I'll have to look it up after. But I do love this effect quite a lot. And it was actually a little bit bigger than this. It hurt my feelings to trim it down. And on the front side is an image. These are out of a photography book, and it was like a series on decay in America. So here you have like a falling down fence in a fenced off lot, and the billboards are all falling down. So obviously I put the word decay, but also hope, because I feel like even when things are falling apart, you know, there's hope in there somewhere. There's, you know, things can be planted in the lot, everything can be taken down, and something can be rebuilt, or it can be repurposed, or you can just enjoy the decay, because that in itself can be beautiful. And that was day 81. So that is the end of that. And I'll leave you with, maybe we'll just flip this over, and I'll leave you with that to look at. Let me see what we're sitting at for time, if I have time to ask my questions of you. We're at 13 minutes. So I will ask my 2 questions quickly, and then I will show you the Instagrammers that I like who are doing the 100-day challenge. And maybe for the remaining few videos, because this goes up to 81, and that only leaves 19 collages to go. So that's only 2 or 3 more videos, really. And so my question has to do with, my closing on that thought was, maybe I'll do a couple every day for anybody who's interested in visiting. People who are doing the 100-day challenge, now that it's almost complete, you can kind of scroll through and see what their overall vision and how similar or how different their daily works were. I think that's a fun thing to do. I've already scrolled through a few when I was looking these up for who I most wanted to share with you. So my first question is, and has to do with, what I'm going to do with these once the challenge is over. Now, I am going to take a few you know, however many will fit in this book, and mostly of the sizes that would. It was a foreign language book, which I have used many of the pages of. But I like that it's white on the front, so I can, probably what I'm going to do is collage the front and put a nice focal image on it. Or maybe the graphic they used this year for you to share that you were doing the 100-day project. I'm going to keep the original binding because it is pretty sturdy. I might just put a little more cardboard in there because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to break this. I'm going to punch holes and I'm going to just put the ring binder right through the book and everything. I kind of like that look. It will be the first one I've done like that. Normally I just take the spine out if I'm going to do that sort of binding, and I just do the boards. But this is the book I'm going to do for that. Oh, so this is, the book was Kafka on the Shore, because the Japanese books go backwards, or Chinese, but I don't know what language it was. Probably Japanese would be my guess. But that's the name of the book, so it would have gone this way, and this would have been the end, the little bird. And that's the title in whatever language it is that I can't read, but that I like the look of on my collages. So I am going to put, I think this will hold between 25 and 35-ish, depending which ones I choose. And obviously I wouldn't be choosing something this size because it doesn't fit, and I will not want to trim it down. But there are plenty that I have to choose from early on and such that will fit close enough or will fit perfectly. But I'm not keeping, or I'm not going to bind all 100 into a book because I got tired of the one size. And next year maybe I will, if I do collages again, because I do love collage, I'll choose a slightly bigger book so that I can have varying sizes from a larger size to a smaller size, and I will think more about how it will be bound when I'm making the collage. So in regards to the ones that are left over, is anyone interested in receiving from me Happy Mail that includes one or some of my 100 days of collage? I know not very many people watch my videos, but if you do and you have an opinion, I would love to hear it. And if you would like to receive Happy Mail from me, whether it has one of these collages or not, feel free to message me privately on YouTube, or to convo me through Etsy, or to email me, and I will, I don't necessarily want to post my email. I will, on this one video, I'll post my email, the one that I check the most often, not my grown-up one that, you know, is used as part of my real name, because I don't actually check that one that often. But I will share my email in this particular video if you would like to receive Happy Mail from me. And this is inspired by Laura, who makes the offer to people who go to her lives. Since I don't currently do lives, if you would like to receive Happy Mail from me, and it won't be anything big or expensive, but I would be happy to share the goodies that I have in this world and some of the things that I make if you would like. But yeah, don't post your address publicly, obviously. Send it to me through some other method. There are a number of ways to contact me in the description box. Please utilize any of those that you would like to. And I will make a list, and it will only be a few a week because I don't have a huge budget for mailing out things, but I am more than happy to send out Happy Mail. If anyone is particularly interested in receiving something that they've seen me flip through, I will do one at the end that shows what's going to go in the book, and then a very quick flip through of everything with no discussion. I'll just like flip through and be like 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 4, you know, whatever they are, because there'll be some missing. And I will not be sending out any ones from the very beginning. I think the first 5 to 7 days I journaled on the back of all of those, and it was very personal stuff. So yeah. But if that interests you at all, please feel free to contact me. Yeah, so, and if you're interested in a specific piece, also contact me because I'd be happy to send it out. I had a lot of fun making these, and you know, if you're feeling like you want to include it in a collage or stick it in your own personal journal, I would be happy to share. I can't remember now what my second question was, but if I remember it, I will include it in a different video. I'm sure we're hitting on the 20-minute mark again, so let me real quick bury that. So this is my first one for the people doing the 100-day challenge. She is What Molly Made, and it's all run together, all in lowercase letters. And she is doing 100 days of wee houses. Wee like tiny. So I'll leave that there for a second for anybody that wants to do that. And I will put the names in the description box, and I will try to remember to link. I'm usually pretty good about it, but you know, we all have our moments. And then the next one is, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It's Tanju's Creation _ that's an _ art. And her hashtag was watercolorwannabe, and her goal was to do 15 minutes of watercolor a day. And so she's got quite a few on there, and they're tiny. Most of them are smaller, and you know, I have no skill with watercolor in terms of painting actual things, and so when somebody has that talent, I think that's awesome. So it's SANJUS Creation _ art. Okay, and then and it's a lowercase d for this. I just got carried away with my marker. At Donna Joy 88, all run together, all lowercase. And she is doing vintage photos with a funny caption for her 100-day challenge. And I was deeply amused by all of them. It was such a fun expression of the 100-day challenge. I hope you will go and check her out. And the last one I want to share with you today is, she's from Australia. It's mswinghammer. And she's doing abstract watercolor. So obviously I was liking the watercolor ones. There are a couple more that I really like that didn't come up immediately when I was searching that I do want to share with you. So there will probably be at least a couple more tomorrow, even if I don't include any in the last video or two. I'm not sure how many more videos there will be. But I just wanted to share those with you. And so if you are thinking you want to check out what people did for their 100-day challenge this year, it started in April, on April 2nd. And it is about to wrap up in 4 more days. The last day will be the 9th of July, which I think is when Mercury goes in retrograde. How interesting. I think it's the 9th or the 11th for Mercury in retrograde, although it may be the 7th. Now I'm just babbling. Well, my lovely people who have, if you have managed to make it this far in my video, thank you ever so much. You are a wonderful human being. If you did make it this far, you're also a wonderful human being. I hope whatever day you are watching this, it is a wonderful, happy day for you. And I will see you next time.